What is up, everybody? You know, I always start this podcast off by showing love to those companies who help make this podcast possible. First is my friend, Mr. Ben Poole, over at HVAC Tactical. I just went and grabbed myself some new merch. I got this. You'll see it. I'm wearing it tonight. I got this green hoodie. I also have the black one, and I just got me one of the HVAC Tactical Groove Life belts, which I had already. Don't forget, man, I don't know how long Ben is going to keep this active, even though I forgot to use it when I bought stuff for me and Rookie. Use the discount code HVAC Uncensored, no spaces, and get 20% off whatever you get. So if you're going to AHR, or you just want some, cool merch to rock, some cool shirts, sweatshirts, whatever it is, go check out HVAC Tactical. The guys, they have all kinds of stuff, and Ben, he really does it. His hats are amazing. You see, I wear the stuff all the time, and I pay for it. He's my friend. I want to support him, and there's not much of this that I don't have. These long sleeve shirts, I have one of those. They're amazing. Everything on here is of the highest quality. I give Ben that. Like I told you, the podcast I did with him, that's why it's so hard for me to do merch, because I see how good his stuff is, and if I put it out, I want stuff like that. So if you're going to go do it, go over to HVACtactical.com, put in the discount code HVAC Uncensored, no spaces, and save 20% on your order. All right? Next is going to be COMPANYCAM. Guys, COMPANYCAM, I know some of you are not business owners, that you are just techs, but if you are a business owner or a manager out there, and regardless of what software that you use, CRM-wise, COMPANYCAM can add on to it. When you talk about organizing the photos and the videos and stuff that you take for jobs, you think it's not a big deal until you go back to find something. Go back to look at a project, and it's like, shit, where are those pictures? I can't find them. COMPANYCAM keeps all of this stuff so organized that I didn't know something could be that organized. And then it keeps it off of your phone. So you're not going through your photo gallery or whatever on your phone when you're trying to find your kids, your wife, your husband, or whatever you're looking for. You're not finding those pictures of data plates and furnaces and ACs. You don't have to mix it in. You're not taking up all that, space on your phone. It lives inside COMPANYCAM. It's in there, professional. It's logged, and it's easy to find. Every person has their own account. You know when they took that picture, where they took it, time-stamped, everything. It's absolutely amazing. It also, now there's a way that you can use the pre-built templates to send these to your customers, which is amazing, especially if you do any kind of construction work and stuff like that, and you need to give people progress photos. This is the way to do it. It is awesome. We use this at Beltway. I love it. Now that we have it, I could never not have it. That's how awesome it is, and it's something little that just makes you look so much more professional and just takes a headache away that you don't have to have anymore. So remember, if you go to www.companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored, you will get a free 14-day trial. Free, no credit card, no nothing. After 14 days, you don't like it, no harm, no foul, but I know that you will. And if you do, they will give you 50% off your first 2 months. It's 2 or 3, I forget. Too many sponsors here now. But here I'm going to do one more, and that is going to be my friends over at HOUSECALL Pro. COMPANYCAM with HOUSECALL Pro is fucking amazing. That is what we use at Beltway. HOUSECALL Pro, for all of you out there, and I won't say the other guys' names because I know a lot of those people, and they're not bad programs. I'll never down another one to pick up this. But HOUSECALL Pro, if you are under a $10 million business, which, let's be honest, that's what, probably 80% of the businesses out there are. HOUSECALL Pro will take care of all of your needs and some. They have been growing, adding features, piling them on to give you more than enough to be able to run a successful, organized business and get the data and the numbers that you need in order to be able to have budget meetings and plan out and all that kind of stuff. The resources on the technician side, it does everything they need to do, whether it's on an iPad, an iPhone, and a Google Android, whatever. It gives you all of the resources that you need, and I literally set the schedule in this every single day. I always say this, and I feel like I need to because I'm always honest with you guys and gals. when I first went to Beltway and I saw they had House Call Pro coming from one of the big guys, I was like, this is shit. Get rid of it. We can never grow using this. And they have literally proved me wrong every step of the way. And I'm a man. I'll admit when I was wrong, and I was 100% wrong. House Call Pro has been amazing for us, and there's no reason for us to switch anytime soon. It does everything that we need to do and some. All right. Remember, you can also get a free 14-day trial for this. If you use my link, go down in the show notes because this is housecallpro.com / but I think this one is HVAC _ uncensored. It's not like COMPANYCAM, so it's a little bit different. But you can use my code. You get a free 14-day trial. And then they give all people who use my link another special code. And I don't even know what it is yet. I mean, another special discount. I'm not even sure what it is yet, so let me know. But anybody who signed up before I had the code, also let me know. Or if you let them know that you're from HVAC Uncensored, they will make sure that you get any discount that is supposed to be for my listeners. With that being said, work simpler, grow smarter, and on to the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Gil KV Jr. Here we are, another Wednesday, another hump day, and another great show for you, man. Before we even get into the show real fast, I hope that all of you, Happy New Year. Hope all of you had an amazing New Year. The holidays are over. Now it's time to get back into that grind mode. Back to work with no days off, unless you got a birthday or something. There ain't no holidays coming up where you get off anymore. It sucks to not be off, but as somebody who runs a business, I'm thankful to get back to work, to start this year off right. Obviously, AHR is only a couple of weeks away, which is fucking amazing. I cannot wait for that. Real fast, hello to some people. Jason Johnson, Chris Miller, Mr. Nathan Christensen, last week's guest, Mr. HVAC Rookie. Let me see if I missed anybody. I think that was everybody. We'll see some people start to come in. Oh, and Mr. Brian Sanders. Hello. So thank you guys for being in here. But guys, I have an awesome show for you tonight, and you guys may not recognize the name when I put on their global source, but I know once we start talking, you will 100% know exactly what we're talking about. And our guest, Gabriel, I saw him inside of my local Johnstone, and we just sparked up an amazing conversation. A very, very cool guy who knows a lot about his products. And we had some very good conversations. He came over to our shop and talked to all the guys about some of the new things and went over them. And it was an absolute blast. Plus, the guys like free breakfast. Who doesn't? They're animals. But I think that this would make a great podcast to talk about this. And I would love to hear some of your insights once we get into this. So with that being said, guys, please put your hands together for Mr. Gabriel Price, works for Global Source. Here is Mr. Gabriel. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Gil? How are you? Happy New Year to you, buddy.
Yes, thank you, man. Same to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so awesome that you're on here, man. I know I gave that little backstory about us meeting at Johnstone. I guess before we get going into any details, let people know a little bit about you and who you are, Gabriel.
Sure. So, like you said, my name is Gabriel. I work for a company called Global Source. We are a master distributor of HVAC products. We sell to wholesalers. Wholesalers sell to you guys and techs, and we just supply the service industry. That's what we do. Global was founded in 1982. purchased by my boss Dickie in 2001, and we are a family-owned business. We will always continue to be a family-owned business. We love that. Our owner is reachable at any time. We're out of San Antonio, Texas, so nice and warm out there. So we do a lot of air conditioning stuff, but we are nationwide. The nice thing about us is all of our product. We stock about 93% of all the product in our warehouse. And we are, even to Maryland, probably 3 to 4 days to get it to any one of the suppliers out there. So in 2020, we were looking to expand a little bit. So we went ahead and purchased Amrad Manufacturing. So Amrad Manufacturing, if you guys don't know, they are the ones that make the turbos, the Turbo 200s, the Turbo 200Xs, the minis, the ovals, the hard starts, pretty much everything that we're going to go over tonight and talk about. And they are located in Palm Coast, Florida. The factory is awesome. We were just there a couple months ago. Anybody is more than welcome to go down there and take a tour. Our liaison down there, Jonathan, is fantastic. He will walk you through the factory, through the clean rooms, through the zinc plating, through everything that we do down there. So just so you guys, I mean, our turbos and USA caps, 100% USA made. Very important.
And that is very
Yeah.
awesome. And in the world we live in today, that's even more important. That's one of the reasons I love one of my sponsors, Yellow Jacket, is they're still American made. When the easy thing to do is to ship things overseas or start making it, in Mexico or somewhere else, and the fact that companies don't do that, I appreciate that. I really do, that they keep all of it here in the United States, because it's getting few and far between. It's more of the assembled in the United States. So that's awesome that
Sure.
that they do that. And everybody knows about these capacitors. You may not know about one of their newest products, because I did not know about it until Gabriel showed it to me. So I want to ask this before we get into some more products that they have, is how do you feel about the turbos? And what would be a gripe that you have? Because the gripe that people are going to say, I guarantee I know what it is, and I know how to combat it.
Yep.
So, okay, we got best caps out there. Always live the
Always live the
AMRADs.
AMRADs. Nice.
That's my buddy Jason. He's in Texas.
Okay, so he's probably using the AMRAD USA capacitors, which is our standard line of caps, not our universal line of caps, which is great. We love that as well.
Yeah, they're all good. And think about it when you're charging somebody for something. So I'm not taking up a bunch of time waiting for comments, but you hear it, Gabriel. People are like, man, but these things are so expensive. Yes, they are. But what do I always say on here? To give your customers options. And why, you're the global the source guy, why would my customer rather have one of your capacitors?
Well, all right. So I will be the first one out there to say that our capacitors are not the least expensive ones on the market. They are, however, the highest value on the market. One, like we'd already discussed, they are made in the United States, which is great, right in that Palm Coast, Florida. Two, I think the number one reason you're going to like these more than anything else is they have a 5-year warranty on them. And that's kind of unheard of in the capacitor industry. I mean, you've got capacitors that last a year or whatever, maybe 2 years, and then they explode and oil goes everywhere. But ours have a 5-year warranty on them. The nice thing about our 5-year warranty is to, instead of doing 5 years from date of install, or from date of purchase, it's actually from date of install. So they could be roaming around on your truck for a year. You install it, write the date on it, and if something goes wrong with it, then we'll replace it for you. No issues at all. The other thing that's really good about ours is there is at least 3 or 4 quality control things that we do to test our capacitors that is far above and beyond anything else in the industry that people do. I mean, these plants that are making these other capacitors are just throwing them out one after another. Ours, they're all individually tested. They're batch tested. They are just a phenomenal product that will last you years and years and years.
Yep, and that's it. And guys, if I want to go down to Florida to see this, and I'm gonna set that up at some point, because I've been wanting to go there before I even met Gabriel. But if you can't go there, watch the video of how these things are made, and it'll talk about exactly what he just said about how they batch test stuff. And if one of those readings is off, they throw away the whole batch. They do away with it. And think about it. Customers a lot of times, well, two things. I have never found a bad turbo capacitor. Never. I've never seen one. I've put in quite a few over my, 20-something year career. Obviously, I didn't know about these in the beginning of it. I don't know if they were around. Maybe I just didn't know. But I have never, ever had a bad one. None of my techs have ever had a bad one. I'm curious if any of you have ever seen one of them go bad. And if you have, hey, that's fine. That's what the 5-year warranty is for. But to tell a customer, hey, I can give you this one. It's a little bit cheaper. We warranty our labor, but there is no part warranty on this or whatever your company does. Or I can give you this one. It's American made. And I know that this will last you for at least 5 years. Comes with a 5-year warranty. It makes you look better, and you'll be surprised how many customers are going to take that better option. That's what we started doing, and we sell the shit out of them before I even met Gabriel. And now it's just been topic of conversation. I had another service meeting this morning because of the holiday messing things up, and we talked about it again, and the guys love it. So one thing that I didn't know that they had that I am awesome that when you showed them to me is the hard starts. Those are amazing.
Yep. Okay, so everybody should be familiar with our turbos. They look like this. Well, there we go. I got to get the camera right. There we go. It's a turbo. Okay, so you can see that. So this is the Turbo 200. We have it in this up to 67.5 microfarads. We have the larger one that goes up to 97.5. But what you're talking about is going to be our universal hard start. So those of you out there that are using hard starts, good on you. You should always, well, I'm going to say always, but most of the time use a hard start, even on a new install, because it'll help, really take away that stress on the system. But ours are going to be a little bit different. So our universal hard starts are going to have a built-in internal relay. So it's going to be built into this. This is also a 5-year warranty, just like the turbos. The thing that's nice about these is they are universal, like you said. The turbo covers all microfarads from 5 up to 67.5 or 97.5. This will cover 1 ton all the way up to 5 ton. So instead of carrying all of the other brands where you have to carry 4 different hard starts or 5 different hard starts or, something out like that out there, this will cover everything in your truck. So you're taking, with turbos in this, you are taking 3 or 4 drawers of capacitors and hard starts and really narrowing it down to 1 drawer with maybe 5 or 6 things in it that will cover 99.9% of anything out in the field that you can find.
Especially all you little minivan guys out there. There's little baby vans. I don't know how you work out of those, but that, so tech-wise, these have the same quality as the turbos, same 5-year warranty that you can sell that and offer that to your customer. And from a management standpoint, now I got less things I have to stock on a guy's truck. Well, guys and gals. Let me make sure I say that. I don't want to forget the ladies. But 2-part numbers, 3-part numbers, whatever, that I have to have as far as restocking purposes versus calling over and be like, I need a 45.5, 340/5s. You know what I mean? Just this, and it's better quality. That's what I want you guys to know. And I'm huge on hard starts. As far as I'm concerned, any single stage piece of equipment, if it doesn't have one, it needs one. That's how I feel. It's not going to hurt it. It's only going to help it. And most of the brands, being a carrier guy, coming up through my career, but it's not just them. I'm just using them as an example. A lot of the differences between the comfort and the performance when you look at the outdoor units was a fucking hard start. That was one of the few differences between the models. So obviously right there, it tells you that they should have them. And to have that 5-year warranty is huge. And to know that it's built inside, because I was one of those people that I used to use one of your competitors' 521s because I liked the external,
Sure.
the relay, because not to shit on a brand, but the Supco ones, they're good in a pinch. Quality-wise, I don't think they're that great. That's just my personal opinion, not trying to shit on anybody. But I like the 521s because of that. But knowing that yours is built in like that and does the same thing with a 5-year warranty, I think is awesome. So people know you guys do make one where it is separate, but the warranty is not as long.
Right. That one is a 3-year warranty, and the can is slightly smaller by about 3 inches or so. Just for ease of fitment, I think is probably better. But I wanted to kind of address. I can see a little question there from Nathan that says, can we get a better strap for the turbos? The zip tie always breaks for me. Hey, look what you got right
You
there.
sure can.
So, yep. So that is our newest product. That is our Global the Source cap mount. So these came into development probably about 6 to 8 months ago. So we come out to market with stuff that we can realize that people are looking for rather quickly. Yes, the turbos do come with a little zip tie inside, and they come with a little screw and all that kind of stuff. But this little cap mount, they come two to a pack. They are either screwable or they have screwable, funny, or they have 3M tape on the back. They are meant to dovetail together with a little dovetail. So if you are mounting a capacitor and a hard start together, they will snap together. And they do come with better zip ties that you zip right through the plastic. And then you can mount any capacitor and any hard start from 5 microfarads, oval or round, all the way up. So it streamlines everything in the cabinet. It makes it a much better experience for the techs, and it makes it a lot nicer to be able to show the homeowners as well. So instead of, I've seen where they just leave them hanging, or they duct tape them in there, or they use cable straps, or they do all that kind of stuff as well. This just streamlines it. You can take the homeowner out and you can say, hey, look, we're putting this in right. They're mounted right side up correctly. They're not laying in the bottom of the case to get moisture and all that kind of stuff. And we really want to take care of you. So that's what we're all looking for in the industry now.
Yeah, these are awesome, and they work with any capacitor. Just so God forbid you don't use the turbos, whatever. That's your bad. But these are awesome. I got a box of them, so it's the guys have been loving these things. So now any capacitor that we put on, the guys are literally screwing this in, or they're going to do both. And what we do to be safe is really the 3M holds it where, you don't even have to screw it. Depending on the cabinet is whether we screw it or not. But here we've been sticking it and using a screw and then putting the thing through and then cinching it down, and the thing looks perfect. Obviously you can put them together if need be. If not, and you have to, because of room inside the cabinet, you can move it around, but these things work amazing. I love these, and this is such a better way to mount the turbos than the other way. And these things are relatively cheap for what they do. And let's be honest, anything you buy, you're passed on to the customer anyway. And if the customer is buying, say, a turbo capacitor and one of their hard starts, obviously they like quality. This is going to be the least of we know. They're not going to worry about the $5 or whatever it is you're charging for this, or it's just wrapped into your other price.
Right.
But yeah,
and those are available now at any one of the major supply houses out there. So
yeah, this is awesome. Let me see. So let's see. What size screws? So these the screws that come in here, these are the 3/8 screws. So they are pretty heavy duty screws. But like I said, we have some of the guys have, but with this 3M tape on the back, you don't even need this screw. I mean, and that's with a turbo, and I want to say
those are heavy.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. So if this 3M tape can hold that, it's fine. Granted, I don't know. I mean, I hope it doesn't fall down over time, but I don't think so. But this is the screw. If you see, it's a 3/8 head. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's
duty,
a 3/8, and I think it's about an inch long or so just to hold it in. And it does mount flush, so there's no scraping on the capacitor once it's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, fits right in there, so that's good. Highly recommend those, regardless of the kind of capacitors you use. It's just going to neaten up, and it's your quality of work. People pay for craftsmanship. You hear like HVAC Tactical, one of his shirts, Master Your Craft. Little things like that, stepping your game up. Hey, well, if you're a premium company, you charge a premium price. Little things like this go a long way. Versus the run cap bandits who, have it sitting inside the box. And sadly, even with things like this that make it so easy to be organized and professional and do a really good job, there's still dipshits out there that won't use this, and they're gonna, have it wire tied to the wires or just dangling in the panel like a retard.
Yep.
But It is what it is. But and we don't have to move on to these right now. But I love these things and the Short Pro tools. I don't know if any of you guys have this, but make sure you stay here because at the end of this, I have 4 of them that my guys didn't devour that I'm going to give away.
Yeah, those are a really great tool too. They're just basically an alligator clip 24-volt circuit tester. It's got an automatic reset when the short is removed. So instead of, shorting it out and having to reset and then shorting and resetting and shorting and resetting on the circuit box, all it is just a little light pop, and it's super easy to use, super great to have in your toolbox. And I mean, you use them, so you know.
Oh yeah, I mean I love them, and I like that it has the little light on it that
hmm
literally when you're going through it's gonna indicate for you, and it's also it's like the little poppers. Like I'm pretty sure this one. So this one. Okay, so I will say this about these. These help you find the short, and this thing will,
Right.
trip inside. A lot of people used to think that because they don't see something to reset, that your fuse would still blow if you had this, and
Mm-mm.
that's not the case. This,
No, it's an
this,
automatic reset in those.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's automatic reset.
hmm
So just so people know that, Mr. Adrian, what is up, buddy? Reliable HVACR. I was gonna write that, but I'm too slow. Um,
the box, the mount. Yeah. Yeah. Then we charge so much more for the turbos because then the box would have the mount, and yeah, they're already expensive enough.
yeah. Was shocked when I found they made the start caps for refrigeration. Yep, they make
We
the other
do.
ones. Yeah.
We absolutely do. We make a universal start cap for refrigeration. It's called the Turbolytic, either a Turbolytic 50 or a Turbolytic Junior. And the Turbolytic 50 will go up from, I think it's 21 microfarads to 324 microfarads. And it's wired very similarly to a turbo with wires across the top. There's a little chart on it, and you wired up. The most common is like a 108 to 130. And when guys start running out of those in the summertime, you can pick up a turbolytic pretty much anywhere, and just use it on your, if you're using walk-in freezers, chest freezers, even some of those larger like trucks, if you're fixing truck units and that kind of stuff. A start cap is definitely one of the things that we have for you as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And obviously, some of you guys, if in residential and if you're not the manager or boss, you can't control what you get. Most managers are, as long as you, so we don't want trucks to turn into storage units. We want you to get truck stock and it goes just as fast as you got it. So it's a constant cycle. Like I said, this should be your options. If you're only providing 2 options, it should be, hey, this is the cheap package with whatever, and then this is the premium option with the turbos, unless you only give the premium option.
Mhm.
But give those options to your customer, and you'd be surprised how many customers will pick the turbos. A bunch of our guys, there was a few of our guys that were like, people aren't going to pay for this. I'm like, you don't know what people will pay for. And we literally went out and had them all sitting there in the box, and some guy picked up the turbo box, and what he said, he was a Vietnam veteran, and he was like, made in the USA, I'll take it.
Yep.
So there's
Well,
just
and
little things.
the nice thing about the turbos too, and I'll do a little story kind of thing. We all know how the weather can get here in Maryland, if not across the U.S. It's getting warmer, that kind of stuff. When your air conditioner goes out and you're a homeowner and you're home, you don't have AC, it's 110 degrees outside, and the tech pulls up, they go to fix your AC, figure out it's a capacitor problem. They go into the drawer and they don't have a 65.5, because who has that sitting on their truck? You know, if you have a turbo on your truck, you can go to that homeowner and you can say, hey, look, I can fix your AC right now. I can get you up and running in 15 minutes. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more, a little bit more cost. But if you don't want me to do that, I can make another trip back to the supply house, see if they have a 65, come back out the next day, then put it in. And then, that capacitor will last, X number of years. Or I can just do it right now. And I don't think I have ever seen a customer say, please don't fix my AC for an extra X number of dollars.
No, no, they're
No.
they're not. And people, especially like emergency calls, they're paying for their, they want you out there right now. because normally they're
Mhm.
paying emergency diagnostic or whatever. So we do have emergency diagnostics, but we don't change our prices. And people are like, yeah, I spent the $200 to get you out here. Like, get the fucking thing working. Um,
Right.
yeah. Um, exactly, Adrian. I got HVAC tactical boxers and sweats. That's my man. This green hoodie is pretty badass. So my buddy Ben owns HVAC Tactical, which they put on the Tactical Award Show. Plus he does merch, which is awesome. And this is one of the newest ones that I got. There's little buttons up here. Um, where's where's Gil's head? I can't find it in the camo. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be too much green to wear this hat, but I love this hat, so I put it on. Figured you guys didn't want to see my bald head tonight. Yeah, and don't forget, stick around because at the end I got 4 of these to give away. So if you don't have one, I will send those out, and stickers and stuff will come with this. The other thing that we talked about, besides the amazing turbo stuff that we know about, that you guys are involved in a lot of other things that I didn't know about. And one that I really want
Mhm.
to try, I think is the Cool Guard 2. Is that what they call it? Cool Guard?
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what it's called. So we work with a company called Dytech. They are one of the top leaders in the HVAC field for surge protection. So we sell a couple of their products. We do sell a standard surge protector that mounts on the side of the disconnect. That has a 10-year warranty on it, which is fantastic. And then their upgraded one from that is a CoolGuard 2, which is a surge protector, but it's also an over voltage and under voltage monitor. So you put it on the house. It can mount on the outside. It is water resistant. And all it is a series of red and green lights for each one of the 2 lines that you can put into it. If the lights are green, you're good to go. If they start flashing red, you know there's an issue with a surge, either over or under. The nice thing about the CoolGuard is it will monitor your voltage from 104 to 130. If the voltage either surges over that or under voltage is under it, it'll actually shut your system down and then restart it every 3 minutes until it normalizes. So it's really a good thing to have. When the techs come out and work on it, they can immediately tell what's going on with it. Some of the other ones out there have switches and little buttons, and you could program it for this and that. But that just leads to 10 different techs setting it up 10 different ways, and then the homeowner going out, unscrewing the cover, and pushing all the buttons and trying to fix it themselves. So ours is super simple, super easy. Comes with torque length because I know everybody's torquing their stuff correctly, right?
Yeah, of
Mm-hmm.
course.
And, oh, of course. And wire strip length, everything like that. So super easy, super nice to have. You can pick that up at any one of the retailers too. And I mean, especially in this area, we have wonky power all the time. You see your lights dip, you're going to want to have something like that. The nice thing about our little surge protector too is it does have a $7,500 equipment warranty on it. So as long as you're registered online, if something should happen to the board and that surge protector should fail to fail, the homeowner is covered for that.
See, and a lot of people don't know that,
Mm-hmm.
about the warranty and stuff like that. And the Cool Guard 2 that they have is awesome. The fact that it does shut it down. Because let's be honest, every inverter piece of equipment that's out there, whether it's a mini split, a ductless system, or just a regular inverter, needs to have some sort of surge protection on it. A
Yep.
lot of times we go there and we're like, board's bad. Don't know what caused it. It could have been anything. A lot of times that's what it is. It is dirty power. It's static
Mm-hmm.
electricity. It's, the voltage dipping and doing different stuff that makes something go bad. This thing right here, add it into the cost of what you're doing. You put it on there, but you make sure that you let the homeowner know, hey, we're using this kind of surge protector, and this is also what it does. It does exactly what Gabriel just said. People will love it. We've loved using them. I think we just used the first one. Let me take that back. I didn't know about them until I talked to him. So we just used one. And it's awesome. I explained everything to the customer, and they were like, oh, my God, this is amazing. So now all of our inverter stuff that we just include surge protectors, we're going to start putting these on. So
Mm-hmm.
have any of
So
you
I
guys
see,
ever used it?
I see Nathan is asking like, what's the difference between our surge protector and the Rector Seal RSH50? So the RSH50, and I'm never going to knock another company's product. It's a fantastic product. If you want to use the RH50, use the RH50. That's fine. Ours is going to be, number one, made in the US, which is good. It's going to be a higher quality product. It is a little bit larger than the RH50, which is that little oval that screws into the bottom of the disconnect. Ours is going to be a little black rectangle that screws into the bottom of the disconnect with a 3-wire hookup. The main difference is if you're using that RH50, they will say that it can take 5 hits or 4 hits or whatever it is until it actually fails for good. Our Dytech CM Plus 120-240 will take as many hits as it takes. So it's not going to take 3 hits and then you have to replace it or all that kind of stuff that they're going to say. I would just, from a quality standpoint, I would just go with the Dytech. But whatever works for you guys. I know the RH50 also is one they come mounted in a disconnect and all that kind of stuff. So for ease of stuff, I get it. But I mean, if you want a higher quality product that's tested a little bit better and it's going to last a lot longer, I mean, go with ours. Go with the Dytech, man.
I have to agree. And so the RSH50, we did use them, and I told Gabriel when I first started talking to him, we would use those because of the size, because they were so small. But so when he's talking about the Dytech, that is their version of the RS, that's like the, the counterpart to the RSH50. What I'm talking about, the RSH50 can't hold a candle to. It's totally different. So that Cool Guard is the one that he's talking about, that has the lights. It's a little black box that I mounted on the indoor unit so they can see it. Customer they don't know what it's doing, but they can see it. They know it's fancy. And then outside is the same way. That's the one that is going to monitor the voltage and shut the system off if it has to. That thing's amazing, a little bit more expensive, but then again, you're trying to get quality to your customer. It's a little bit more expensive. Once again, you have options. You can have this one, costs this much, does this, or you can have this one that costs this much, but it does A, B, C, D. That's the biggest things that I want you to know. I do like the RSH50 for the size, some tight spots, but any place you can fit that, you can fit the Dytech. And I didn't even know the Dytech.
Pretty much. And remember, you can always mount, you can pop out the hole on the side of them and mount them sideways too on the side of the disconnect. So you don't have to mount it just underneath. So all those that have that little side pop hole, same difference.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. And when it comes to that level of quality, you guys are also like in the contactor game as well. It's just through somebody else, though, correct?
Yeah, so we carry it's a company called NoArc, and we do contactors through them. They are, once again, a fantastic contactor. Most contactors are going to have lugs and they're going to have screws down to a certain point, but ours will have screws all the way down to the 1.5, or what we call one in a there's not really a 1-pole contactor, but 1.5 pole contactors will have lugs all the way, screws all the way down to them. So good times.
Nice. So BPHC hopping in lately. So he's not selling anything, but he's talking about, so he works for Global The Source, which is the manufacturing company that owns and makes the Turbo Capacitors. And he also let everybody know that they also make a universal hard start that goes from 1 ton all the way up to 5 ton, all the way built in. One thing, let's backtrack that people didn't realize. With that hard start and the turbo, how it has the CPT and it has that wire that goes directly on the compressor protection terminal.
Yep. So you'll see our turbos when you guys use them. Most capacitors, when you hook them up, you would hook directly to the common. Okay, when you're hooking up a hard start. Ours has this little thing on there. It's called a CPT, compressor protection terminal. What this does, in conjunction with a hard start, should anything go wrong with this capacitor, it'll actually cut the power to the system. So this capacitor cannot act as a pass-through for electricity to go to the compressor and have an issue. Same thing with a hard start. When our hard start is hooked up to this CPT with a little orange wire on it, your entire compressor system is now protected should anything happen with any sort of electrical surge or anything like that. There is actually a fuse built into the hard start wire that within 2 to 3 seconds of there going anything wrong with the internal relay or the capacitor, it'll actually cut the power to the system. So no longer are you going to, they remember hard starts used to be called what? Compressor killers, right? Because they would complete that circuit, they'd fail closed, electricity would just keep hammering that compressor over and over again, trying to start it, and then it would burn out the compressor. Ours has those two safety features built right into them where it's just going to kill the system, and then they will call you, you can come out and fix it, and be good.
Yeah, so a lot of times with those old ones, it wasn't the actual start capacitor was the problem. The relay would go bad and then kill the said start capacitor.
Right,
So
exactly.
that was the issue. So Nathan, so should I put Herm on CPT? No, 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 no. So
No,
what
no.
he's yeah, so what he's saying is instead of putting like when you fill out your you do your hard start and one of them should go on common, that orange wire is going to go on the CPT terminal.
Right.
So that you're going to use that instead of common. That's what he's saying. Because if you put it on common, then you lose that fused area.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, and that'll work. It'll work. That CPT on our turbo will work with any hard start. It's just our hard start happens to have that fuse wire built into the orange wire with it. So it's a little bit of a safety feature. But if you're using a turbo, you can use any hard start with it. Just connect it to that CPT and you'll be fine. Or if you're not using a hard start, then just ignore the CPT and connect like normal. You'll be fine.
Yeah, he said, but it doesn't have to be the turbo hard start to do it, correct?
No, we
Yeah.
would prefer that you use our turbo hard starts. Of course, we would love that, but you can put any hard start on, any one of the 521 subcos, total lines, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, just make it be a fucking turbo, all right? Don't make this.
Yeah, turbos would be fantastic. We would love that. Please.
And the other thing that is cool that I don't know if you have that stuff with you, but is to take it from 1 to 5. Literally in the pack, it has little colored tops that you literally just boop. Yeah, you just pop it on.
Yep, it's super simple. So on the side of the turbos, well, this is the hard start. There, and sorry for all you colorblind people out there, but we actually wrote the colors on the top here so you can actually see it says red. So if you're doing a full 5-ton unit, it comes with 3 different wires. It comes with one for like a 2-ton. It comes for one all the way up to the 5-ton. And yeah, it is just as simple as he said. All you do is you match the colors and you just snap it around the top. So you're going purple, yellow, red, and brown. Now it's a 5-ton hard start. It's as simple as that. It's just like wiring up a turbo, except you don't have to do any math.
Yeah. And I don't know, you may know this, but I was always taught when hooking up a turbo that when you have to use multiple ones, you always put your wire, like your Herm wire, on the largest.
Yes, the highest capacity. Yes, that is correct. Yep, always. Especially if you're dual, then your highest, your fan motor is going to go on the highest one. But and our turbos are going to be the same way. I mean, you can see all the colors on the top. All the colors correspond to a certain microfarad, and it comes with 5 of these little wires. So you can wire them up, and it's just as simple as just mounting them all the way around and doing a little bit of math in your head. Super simple.
And those things are lifesavers to save when you don't, because you never use them all. I mean, rarely. To save those little things. There's amazing. Sometimes you need a jumper or you need to extend something. I'll use that to jump. I use them to jump out pressure switches sometimes. I literally just take them off and plug it into that thing. So they're very, very, yes, I always save those wires. Exactly. They come in handy when you're doing any service, just like these do, which once again, I will be giving away at the end of the show. But
so I don't know if we had a chance to talk about that, but
no, go ahead.
You guys should be okay. So we have 2 of these small ones. These are your hamster wheel fan capacitors. So inside the house, the hamster wheel, when you're pulling a capacitor out and it's failed, you normally have an oval one in there. We have a round one, we have an oval one. The only difference is one's round and one's oval. They are a 2.5 to 15 microfarad one. Done. Simple. Easy. Hook it up just like a turbo, put it in the little capacitor. It fits right in that little oval slot where the other one came out of, and you're done. Same thing. Same 5-year warranty on these, so you're good with these too.
Yeah, and that 5-year warranty is awesome. It's like the Vito bags of capacitors. But I didn't know they made those because the only thing that I had about the little round ones that would come with certain motors and stuff is the fact that it was round. It was a pain in the ass to
Right.
put back where I took an oval from. But now with those oval ones, once again, I can just put a bunch of those on the guys' trucks, and then they can take care of every blower capacitor that they need.
Man, we learn. We learn.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it makes it easier for you guys when you have to stock your trucks. I mean, I don't know, most companies like our guys, they get their own stock. If they need me to get it, I will. But most of them use the BLUON app. To be honest with you, that's how they order it from our local Johnstone, where I met Gabriel. But this just makes it easier to get things back. You don't have a bunch of stuff that's cluttering things up. Not saying that we don't keep regular capacitors on the truck, because we do.
Sure.
But we have started keeping, because we do charge a premium, we have started trying to get some of the regular AMRAD capacitors. So at least out of our two options, we know that we're still giving two, made in the United States products, and there's somewhat quality. Versus the $10, Chinese made ones that have what looks
Right.
like, piss in it. When he was showing us the difference between the oil and stuff, when you look at the oil inside of theirs, it's no surprise they last longer when it's like crystal clear oil. And these other ones, it literally looks like I just, a night of drinking and then peed in a bottle. That's what it looks like.
Well, there's no regulation in our industry for what you can put inside a capacitor. I mean, we've seen literally on some of the MSDS sheets that it says salad oil on some of those capacitors. So it could be anything in there. Ours just happens to have what's called CCP 110, and it's an ultra thick heat dissipating crystal clear platinum fluid that you have to heat up to almost 200 degrees to even pour into those caps. And it just dissipates heat so much faster than anything else out there.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's the quality of something, that how it gets made. So bring back PCBs. Yeah, those things suck.
Yeah, okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah, don't want
But I mean,
those.
as technology progresses too, I mean, we all remember when caps were, the size of thermoses. They were huge. They were really, I mean, and they just continue to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It has to do with the foil winding inside ours. There's 1,200 feet of it. It's a little bit nicer. It's a little bit more compact. And as technology progresses, and we work a little bit harder to make things a little bit better, they'll get smaller. And it'll come to a point in time when you're putting something the size of your thumb as a capacitor in there, and then who knows where the industry is going to go. So
Yeah, my buddy Rookie says, so when they fail, do they bloat and leak?
ah,
Asking, yeah, I've never
always.
seen one fail, so I don't know.
Mhm. So I'm not going to say they will never fail. Okay, I will never say that. However, there are a couple quality assurance things that we do in our factory to make sure that if they were to fail, then things would think. So first of all, every cap out there is going to have a disconnect built into it. Ours has these two little metal question mark things that kind of look like this. When it starts to dome, the little metal question marks will actually disconnect and power will stop going through the system, so it's not going to blow. The nice thing about our oil, since it is so thick, it takes a while to heat up. Regular capacitors, when they heat up to 150, 160, they're just going to, and oil is just going to go everywhere. Ours is thick enough where it's going to stay in there. The other thing that's nice about ours too, and here's a little bit of trivia for you. Our factory in Palm Coast, Florida is one of the largest users of Alka-Seltzer. Because what we do is we will take our cans for the turbos and we will actually put Alka-Seltzer inside them, fill them with water, and use the clamp machine on them to hold them down, and then check them every couple hours or so just to make sure there's no bubbles, no leaks, nothing like that. So we know that they're not going to leak fluid, they're not going to explode, they're not going to blow up, anything like that. So just a higher quality product.
And that was awesome when he told me that about, like, because at first he just said, yeah, we're the biggest buyer of Alka-Seltzer. And I'm like, what the fuck where's this going? But then when he told me about what they do, I mean, that's pretty awesome. And to go back to what we said, so they make them in batches. If one of them is to fail, the whole batch gets thrown away, correct? They
Yeah,
throw the
we
whole
just
batch.
want to make sure that, yeah, everything is going to be super quality controlled. I mean, we have people individually testing these with their testers for microfarads. We want to be within obviously 5% high or low. And you can see on our turbos and on our regular caps too, you can see where they're tested. Like the little green thing here, it's supposed to be a 2.5. It's actually a 3. And when you get into our regular cap line, you'll see that they are tested to the decimal point. Just so you know, when you go in there, and you know this industry standard is that 10%, really 5, but 10. So when you go to test it and make sure it's still good, we are well within, what it's supposed to be. It's just that quality, that made in the US, that high quality stuff that we take care of. And I'm not trying to, do a sales pitch or anything like that. I'm just trying to say, hey, look, here's a little bit of an education on what caps are and what caps could be. And we appreciate everybody that uses them. I figure they're probably on most people's trucks out there. If you haven't heard of them, then you're using them, which is fantastic. And we just really appreciate that. It's really good to have a product in a lot of these suppliers out there. And, for everybody that's using them, I just wanted to say thank you so very, very much for it. If you're ever in Palm Coast, Florida, you can tour our factory. So good luck with that. Have fun.
Yeah, I want to do that. How far is it from Orlando?
So it's about an hour and 10 minutes north of Orlando, and about 45 minutes south of Jacksonville. So wherever you're heading out to, you can go there. And the gentleman down there, Jonathan, he is fantastic. He knows everything there is to know about the turbos. I mean, it's so cool to go down there and see the zinc spraying machines and the winding machines and the millions and millions and millions of dollars that go into making these things every day.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking, Rookie, is next year AHR Expo is in Orlando. So maybe I'll stay
There you go.
another day, my last day, I'll head down and then just come back to go to the airport. I will set it up. Maybe we'll do a meetup the last day of AHR next year, and a bunch of us will go down. I'll rent a car or something and go down to see the factory. That would be awesome. And guys, this was never about a sales pitch. It was for several different reasons that I think that me and Gabriel had an amazing conversation. For one, I learned that they had some products that I didn't even know about that I thought were awesome. I think their hard starts are amazing. So I wanted you all to know about that. And then also, in this day and age, when somebody isn't cutting quarters and they're worried about quality, let's be honest, there's a bunch of people nowadays that are just trying to make products, slap a name on it, and get it out. Sometimes quality falls through the wayside. So seeing somebody that things are still made in the United States, which, I mean, may not mean anything to you, but it means something to me, and the fact that it is of the highest quality. Lastly is when you guys are out there, I don't know how you get paid, if it's straight hourly, if you get, revenue bonuses, if your truck brings in a certain amount, whatever it is. But all of you should be, no matter what you offer to your customer, you should offer options. That's my point here. So if you give them that cheap Chinese capacitor, that's fine, but give them the turbo option as well and let them know about the 5-year warranty, which Gabriel said earlier is from the installation date, not the date that you bought it. So the day that you install it, the date you write the date on it, that thing fails within 5 years, take that back to the supply house, you got it, they'll give you another one. It's that simple. So that's a selling feature for you to be able to do. And if you guys do make commission or, if you get revenues up, most places, if you get to a certain revenue, you get a bonus or whatever. If you don't have that, then you should talk to your boss because you should. It's just something little that's going to help put money back in your pocket. And you're giving the customer something that is not going to fail. Because I have literally, and I've loved, so more people came in. Have any of you ever seen a turbo fail? I'm curious. Like he said, it's not that they don't fail. I've never seen one in years of putting them in. I've never had one go bad on me. I've never went back for a warranty call or something, saying, oh, that the unit you put in here doesn't work anymore. I've never had that. I've had some of the Chinese ones literally only be in like a month or two, and something happened where they go bad. I've never had that when it comes to one of the turbos ever.
No, I've actually seen people or have people tell me at counter days and stuff that they will grab old units that they're trashing and look in them to make sure that they don't have turbos. Because if they have turbos, they'll just take them out of the old units, scrap the old units, and just keep the turbos. So they last forever.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope. Never seen one. Fair enough. Heard. Let's see. Never seen one fail. I've even I'm not sure what you're saying, Jason. I can't read I don't know what even or gotcha,
even.
Or
Ah,
even heard
gotcha.
one. I got you, buddy. Sorry, I'm the asshole. Gil, I have one older than 5 years on my truck I still use.
Well, so so I appreciate you using the turbos, and that's fantastic. they are designed to be a permanent replacement. So when you say you still have one in your truck that you still use, that to me implies that you're putting it in and then going back and replacing it with another capacitor and then bringing it back and forth. So they are designed as a permanent replacement. So I would suggest leaving it in there and then just, charging the customer appropriately. It saves you so much time, so much effort, so much wear and tear on your truck, gas going out to replace the other capacitor, that kind of stuff. So they are just designed to be it says it right on them, permanent replacement. So you guys do what you want, but I appreciate you using them no matter how you're using them. So.
Yeah, so that means just fucking install it and stop taking it out.
That's right. Leave it in there.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, I gotta play with these voices sometimes. I feel like I never have them. It's my emergency use on commercial call. Resi equipment are permanent. Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense.
Now remember, we do have a commercial one that goes up to 97.5. That's that Turbo 200X. So if you're using them for commercial applications, you're probably going to be okay. I don't think there's a lot more out there that goes above 97.5. So.
Yeah, no. And how many times have you guys been in a pinch where you have to put two of them in series to try to make one big enough, and it just looks like shit. But you have to do that. And to be honest, so you learn as you go, whether it's a technician or business. And in business, the way we used to do it, which we've changed, is we used to carry all the capacitors. So when it came to dual, we'd go 25.5 all the way up to 55.5. We'd have at least 2 or 3 of everything in between on the truck, and then we'd have 2 Turbo 200s and 2 Turbo 200Xs for all of those oddballs that we couldn't find. And that's not crazy, but it's a lot of shelf room. It's a lot of stuff to keep, where now I leave it up to the guys, and most of them only keep the turbos, and they'll keep some regular ones and offer as an option, but most of our customers know that we're a premium company, and they prefer the premium option. Plus with the discounts that we give to our club members and stuff like that. So I can go to them and say, hey, if you buy this club membership today, once we replace these parts, you'll never have to replace them again. And we make that call because we know that we have 5 years. That unit's 10 years old and it lasts 5 years. Great. If I have to pay another $100 to put another one in, that's fine. That customer's going to stay with me because I kept my word. So you can use it in a whole bunch of different fashions, but that 5-year warranty is pretty freaking huge. So, and if you guys earlier missed it, this is their new Oh, there it is. Mounting system for them that you can use for any capacitor. If you're going to put one side by side, you can it has this little tooth looking thing that you can lock it in.
Yeah, it's a dovetail. It's called a dovetail.
Yep. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And you can screw them right next to each other. It does come with the big 3/8 screw, which it recesses in there. It doesn't touch the capacitor, but it has a 3M strip on the back, and to be honest, that is strong enough to hold it to the units. Obviously, I would clean it a little bit, make sure it's not dirty. And if you want to screw it in to be safe, go ahead. But these are awesome, and then you can obviously separate it if you don't have space in the compartment. Put one up here, one down here, however you want to do it. But these are awesome for whatever capacitor you decide to use. So check those out.
Yep.
All right, now I'm trying to think of what I should ask to give these away. Let's see. Ooh, actually, I thought I do have 4. That was something else. But it's zip tied. Yeah, it is. When you zip tie it the way that curve is and it puts it against in here, it's not going anywhere, and it's plastic. So it's not metal against metal. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with that, being a zip tie, rather than having to keep, plumbing strap in there. And you got to think the whole reason of using plumbing strap is because you're trying to get it secure when you screw it into something. Well, here I'm only making 1 penetration through the cabinet. No more of those, oh shit, I just barely missed the coil, and, save myself a long night from having to fix this for the customer, to where I can do this with no penetration or 1 penetration. And when I cinch this down on that thing, it's not going anywhere. That thing is tight. Right. And like we said before, I have tried it with just the 3M stick, no screw, with one of the turbos. I mean, the turbos are heavy. So if it can hold that, it's going to hold those little cheapo Chinese ones that weigh almost nothing besides the piss water that's inside of it. So I'm trying to think of what I should
I can
ask
see a lot of
Gabriel.
people saying, "Hey, I'd like to try one," but you can pick them up at any one of the local HVAC supply houses. So pretty simple. I mean, Johnstone has them. RE is going to have them. You know, our
Yeah.
premier partners, everybody like that, they're going to carry them. So more than easy to pick up at any one of those places.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send me 3 easy payments of $19.95, I will send you one of them, even though it comes as a pack of 2, and then I'll sell somebody else the other one for 3 easy payments of $19.95. No,
Right.
these are cheap, man. You can find them, and they're well worth it. We have them on all our trucks. I got a case from them, and then we just divvied them up between all of the service guys, and now they have them for whatever they're going to use.
So the technical name for them, it's just called they're called a universal cap mount. It's a UCM 50 is what most places are using as their tech name on them. So I see
Yeah, they
UVHC
come
is.
here, I'll put them back. They literally come inside of the one of these a bag like this, and I think there's something else on it that I ripped off probably as well.
Yeah, it's
With
just a little blister pack. It looks like it hangs like a potato chip bag. It just says global to source, universal cap mount, and they come 2 in a pack, just like
yeah,
that in a little plastic bag. Super easy.
yeah, it's cool. I'm trying to think of some questions that because we're past an hour.
Mm.
All right, so first of all, who would want one of these Pro Tools? These short Pro Tools. Let's see, hurry up, put it in the goddamn comments. Let's go.
Mhm.
So this is what I'll do. Trying to think of something to ask. Let's see if they were paying attention to you, Gabriel. What's
Oh,
something that
there's
I
a
could?
bunch of me's right there. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. You guys love your
Hmm.
free shit. I know you guys. There's people that'll stay on these giveaways for 2 hours to win a thermostat screwdriver. I know my dudes want them. Trying to think of to make this about global to source. What is so? All right. So he said where global the source is, and then he said where the AMRAD factory is. If you put both of those states, not now, don't do it now. So after this show is done, and it's the actual comment section on YouTube. So not in the live, once the thermostat screwdriver. So don't do it now. Don't do it now. So once I end this, and then this live chat goes away, it'll let you comment. I want you to comment those 2 states down there, and the first 4 people who do that, don't put it in here. Don't, because some people may not know the answer. BPHC. And I'm not saying that that's correct or incorrect. But the first 4 people that put both of them, not just one, so you need both of them, where the AMRADs are made and where the home of Global the Source is. If you put both of them, when this is done, the first 4 people, I'll tell you, hey, you got it, and then email me your address, and I'll get you these sent out, and I'll also put some of my new stickers and stuff in there. So you guys will get one of these, one of the little shiny ones, and then one of the regular ones. I will put all of those in there. So don't
So
put
if you
it
guys have
now.
yeah, don't put it in there. He said don't put it in there. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, or you want to show up at one of the counter days that we do with our local supply houses and everything like that, I will be doing counter days starting probably in late February, early March, and going all the way up through November. So you'll see me at any one of the local places. I cover Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland, Southern Maryland, some of Virginia, all the way out to the beaches. So I have a very large territory, but you could find me pretty much anywhere. You can always follow me on Instagram at HVAC underscore Gabriel Price. I'm sure you have that information. You'll post that as well. And
Yep.
my email and my phone number will be up in the comments as well. So I'm more than happy to answer any questions, to reach out to you guys. If you guys work for a larger outfit in the Maryland or PA area and you want me to come by and do a morning training like I did for Gil, more than happy to do that for you guys. That would be fantastic.
Yep. Let's see. One more. It says one more question. Do you see Titan coming out with one and taking some of the market share?
So ours are actually patented. So there's not going to be anything else. So there are one or two other capacitor mounts out there. One of them is made by our competitor. It is magnetic and it is very expensive. I don't feel bad saying that. The weird thing about the magnetic one is if you use the magnetic one to mount, let's say, a hard start, you know you're not supposed to do that because you're not supposed to mount hard starts sideways or upside down or anything like that. It can interfere with the wiring inside. It can interfere with the metal foil, the magnetic fields that capacitors create when they work on phase angle. So it's always better to have just something non-metallic, something plastic, something easier, patent pending on that. And the only other ones out there are like little metal straps. So ours is patented, so I'm not super worried about Titan or anybody else coming out with anything like that, especially because ours came into market so quickly and they're out there. So
Yeah. What do you mean by back EMF, Jason? Is there something you mean by that? And as far as BPHC, Johnstone in Minnesota doesn't know anything about BLUON. That's because it depends on who owns your Johnstone store, bud. So by me, the Wallace Group owns them. I actually got the Wallace Group to sign up for BLUON. So I talked to them about it, and they love it. So it depends on who's. If it's a corporate store, if it's one that's owned by another conglomerate. I don't think there is any Johnstone corporates, is there? And aren't they all franchise
yeah,
somewhat?
they're all individually franchised. Like I said, there's 4 or 5 Johnstone groups near us in Baltimore and PA. There may be a corporate overseer for everything, but as far as it goes, all the groups make their own buying decisions and everything like that. But we're working really hard to get our stuff in pretty much every place out there, so you'll be able to find it. And if you can't find it, get a hold of me. We'll find a place near you that can drop ship them to you.
He said, how did I get them to join BLUON? So, I mean, I'm friends with the manager, Berman, there. He knows that. And talking to them, they saw the plus side of their side. So, yes, and not to get into BLUON when I'm sitting here talking to Gabriel, but when it comes to Johnstone, is BLUON makes it easier on their side. So, yes, the supply house has to pay for a piece of that, but the ease of use for them, it's worth the extra customers that they're going to get, especially when you can order things directly on there, as well as BLUON gives them their database. So when you go into the BLUON app and you search for a part, and it's going to give the local Johnstone or whatever supply house all of the parts, like, hey, you don't have this OEM part, but you have these 3 motors that will work in this application, and you have 4 of these in stock, 2 of these in stock, 1 of these in stock. It makes it easy for them. And I'm going to bring Berman on here so you guys can hear his side of why he likes using it as somebody who runs, a pretty large Johnstone. I mean, they do 11, 12 million, which is pretty decent for a supply house, especially where they are, So something to think about. As far as the back EMF question, almost all hard starts, are, when they cut out is based off of back EMF, if that's what you mean, Jason. I'm not sure what your question was, but I'm pretty sure that your guys are the same. The relay, once it gets the back EMF, once it gets to a certain potential back EMF, that's when it cuts
Right,
out.
it'll click over.
Yeah. That's how most of them work. The back EMF ratings are different as far as what they can handle and can't, but that's how 95% of hard starts work. With that being said, we're past an hour. Do you guys have any other questions when it comes to not BLUON? I can do that another day. When it comes to turbos or anything to do with Global the Source that we can ask Gabriel. No, he said you do not mount any of them. You mount all of them upright. You
Right
know what I
side up.
mean? Yeah.
Well,
So
the internal potential relay on those need to be mounted right side up anyway. You should just mount an internal relay upside down. Or not upside, mount it right side up always.
yeah, they're not supposed to be upside down.
Mhm.
So remember, if you do questions, put them in all caps so I can see them. Let's see.
Oh, coming down the pipeline.
He
Well, I mean, there's
Nathan said, "Can
always
you
things coming
sponsor
down
me?"
the pipeline. So,
Yeah. Hey, buddy, you can't be reaching out for sponsors on my show, man. Okay, I get first dibs if Global's going to sponsor somebody. It's like,
mhm.
nah, Nathan's a good dude. He was on the last week's podcast, and it was awesome because I asked him why he started, making Instagram videos and stuff, and I wasn't expecting him to say because of me. So
Hmm.
that was pretty awesome that he said that. He's a really, really cool dude. Younger tech in the field in Indiana, but doing a great job. So if you haven't went out and checked out his episode, please go ahead and do that. Yes. So before I'll do that in a second. Gabriel, thank you so much for coming on, man. This is awesome. I think that it helped let people know some things you guys have that I didn't know about till I talked to you about the hard starts and, these different little things. So I'm glad that we could get that out to these people. And hopefully once they listen or watch this, they're running to a local supply house to stock their truck up. And tell them you heard Gabriel on HVAC Uncensored, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate everybody that's already using it, and anybody that's not. Pop out there to your local guys and pick one up. All the managers out there will be more than happy to assist you. And you'll see me out there in the field. I'll be at a bunch of counter days and events, and you'll see me at a bunch of different supply houses. So, thanks, Gil. I really appreciate your time. And I will see you, of course, at Johnstone. Over the next couple weeks, and we'll roll from there.
Yeah, of course, man. Like I said, thank you so much for coming on. And God forbid if anything new pops off down the pipeline, like something new does pop up, hit me up. Let's get you back on and we'll talk about it.
You will be the first one to know because I'll be banging on your door to buy a bunch of it.
Hey, that's fine. We'll do it. So thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, man.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
So, guys, I thought that was an awesome show. Like I said, me and Gabriel had an awesome conversation inside of Johnstone a few weeks ago. And then he ended up coming into our shop and talking to the guys and showing the products. We had breakfast. It was really, really cool. And I didn't know if some of you knew about their products. I knew most of you probably knew about the Turbo Capacitors. I mean, that's kind of everybody knows them. I didn't know if you knew they made hard starts or if they, about these compressor caddy. Capacitor caddy things. I thought they were really, really neat. And then also letting you guys know the other side of it. I know a lot of techs, their gripe is they're expensive. But like I said, it's an option. It's a premium option to offer to your customers with that 5-year warranty so that you know how they work. And remember, the hard starts that are enclosed and the turbos, 5-year warranty from the date of installation, not date of purchase. If you happen to buy the hard start that has the separate, the relay is outside of it, then that is a 3-year warranty, just so you guys know that. And they also, remember, they make the oval capacitors for like your blowers and stuff like that. You can literally have just a couple of those on your truck and it'll take care of every blower capacitor that you need to do rather than having to worry about have a bunch of them on your truck. So hope you guys got something out of this. I appreciate Gabriel for coming on. I really do, especially with such short notice. We literally, like I said, talked a couple of weeks ago, and he's already on the show, so that's amazing. Which is probably good because I tell everybody after AHR, the podcast books out till fucking June. June, July, in that range. So I'm glad we could get this done. Before I close this out, remember when this is done. So don't have it in the live chat because that's going to go away. Once that it goes back to, you can comment. The first 4 comments that can comment the 2 states of the place he was talking about. So where Global the Source is and then where AMRADs are. The first 4 people, I will tell you to email me and then I will send these out to you. I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. The show is, I think we're like... I want to say we're like 350,000 downloads away from 4.7 million downloads. So this is like the 5th or 6th year. So if I can do 5 million in 5 years, that would be fucking amazing. So I thank you guys, man, for the ones that listen, that come and show up to watch this in the chat. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are the reason that I do this every Wednesday, and I still love to do it. It's the camaraderie, the brotherhood, and the people you get to meet by doing this is fucking awesome. So with that being said, remember, be safe out there. We all have somebody to make it home to. Keep your head on the swivel. I don't care if it's driving. Make sure that breaker is turned off. Speaking of that, we had a technician today who did that very thing. Doing an install, went to change the disconnect and didn't realize it was still hot, and he had a pop. Thank God nobody got hurt. Everything was fine. Plus, I know his father. He would kill me if I let something happen to his son. But check things. Make sure that breaker's turned off. People driving on the road, whatever it is, be safe, okay? I don't want to hear about anything happening to any of you, whether it's word of mouth or whatever it is. Please, please stay safe. With that being said, do the little things. Set yourself apart from the next guy or girl. Keep trying to make yourself better. There's always ways to learn and to increase your knowledge on whatever it is. A podcast, read a book. I've never been a huge book reader. I started reading more when I came to Beltway because Ryan has pushed me, and I thank God that he has, because I've learned so much stuff from these books. And if you're some amazing tech that you know what you're doing, then teach the younger generation. Give that knowledge back to somebody. All right? You can help the trade by that, in that context. Give your knowledge back to somebody. Make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, that we're raising the bar in this industry, and that we will not allow that shitty work. You know what I mean? So keep raising the bar, hold people accountable, and then just give a shit. You know what I mean? You put positivity out in the world, you're going to get positive things back. I truly believe in karma. So with that being said, I love you mofos. I do help you. Don't you lie. I do have a potty mouth, but yeah, guys, got some good shows coming up before I leave for AHR. If you are going there, I'm going to post some meetups so that me and Rookie can hang out with a bunch of people. We'll go to a bar one night or something and buy some drinks, and that will all be on me. Least I could do is buy you guys a beer, a soda, coffee, whatever it is that you drink. So yeah, with that being said, I love you mofos. I'm going to close this out, and until next week, peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
And get that airfare, Jason. Hit me up with some airfare so we can get you to AHR, my man. Don't forget.